Hello and welcome. My name is Roger Markarian. I want to welcome you to my program Inspired by Speaking. I'm a DTM and have been speaking for the last 15 years. My vision is to help individuals who have challenges writing and speaking. In this program, you will hear others' inspired messages. Throughout this video, you will hear tips, tricks, and ideas to become a better speaker and writer. Allow what you hear to resonate so you can take action. Learn from those who are taking action right now. Thanks for being here.
Hey guys, welcome back to Inspired by Speaking. My name is Roger Markarian. I am so pleasantly excited to have someone from one of my own groups here in the local area, Jamie Gutheil. Jamie has been with Toastmasters for 2 years. She is a fantastic speaker. She really looks at her speeches and really presents some fantastic speeches. Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing great, Roger, and I want to thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here today.
Well,
This is
I'm so glad you were able to make it. I really appreciate you're here. What really inspired you to get involved in speaking?
well, I'll tell you, in my job, I was doing more and more public speaking, and I was asked to speak in front of a large audience, and it was fear that prompted me to get involved with speaking more in Toastmasters because I was terrified of getting in front of this group. And Toastmasters helped me.
Yeah, boy, when we have to speak in front of a group, a lot of things happen. Let me ask you, when you spoke in front of that group, what kind of things were you experiencing when you were standing in front of how many people you said?
It was about 300 people.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. We're live on a stage, the whole thing. Yeah, a little scary. And a lot of things were going through my head,
Oh, I
like
bet.
how to get this.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine. So that was one of your first presentations in front of 300 people?
Yes, it was.
Oh
And
my,
I joined Toastmasters a couple months earlier, and I spoke every opportunity I could get to get more practice in. And it helped so much.
no kidding. What a difference it does make. When you were standing in front of stage in front of 300 people, what was your body experiencing internally that people maybe not were not able to see on the outside?
I was experiencing fear,
Yeah.
agitation. My body was tense. I was shaking. I remember having to hit a button on my PowerPoint, and I looked at my finger and it was like wobbly. I was definitely nervous, but
I'm
I
not
held it together.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I don't think there's a speaker out there who can't relate to exactly what you experience. Good for you for speaking though in front of 300 people as one of your first opportunities to speak in front of a group. That is outstanding. In fact, most people who are probably listening are considering that saying, oh, that's not going to happen for me. But you know what? The best part about it is it eventually does. And that's the beauty behind it is we become more prepared and ready to deliver. And as a result, everything starts to line up just like we practice, which is awesome. So I really love listening to speeches. I hear people speak all the time throughout the country. What is it that you enjoy writing about? Is there anything in particular?
I enjoy writing about things that are of interest to me. For
Okay.
example, I did a speech not too long ago all about words and language and how they influence us. And I am so into words. I think that words can be life changing. They share our experience and communicate with the world what we're about, and that we choose just the right word with the subtle meaning that we're trying to communicate is so important.
Gosh, I completely agree. How beautifully said. We are all wordsmiths looking for the right words. Just you express that so eloquently. I appreciate that. Is there a word perhaps that may have inspired you? What word might that be?
Yeah, interestingly enough, it is a Thai word that interested me and inspired my entire speech. And that word is Sanuk.
Huh?
In the Thai culture, they have this word Sanuk, and the word means that there is inherent pleasure in any activity. And I
Wow.
thought about this. Wow, these guys could be cleaning toilets or sweeping the floor or out to dinner with friends. Whatever they're doing, there's pleasure in it. And I thought about then the contrast to our culture. We're so different. We wait to have pleasure. We work and we work and we work and we accomplish things. And then when we get all the way to the end, that's when we reward ourselves and have pleasure. And it's interesting because we don't have any word like Sanuk in our language. It doesn't even exist. We have a motto. We have a motto, no pain, no gain. But their motto in the Thai culture is no fun, no value.
Wow.
Incredible.
Gosh, that is incredible. What an outlook. It's a completely
Mm.
different outlook on how that word changes how we think. I love that word. One more time. Would you be good enough to say it one more time? Pronounce
Sanuk.
Sanuk. That is just a fabulous word. And it is so inspiring. Imagine looking at the day like that every single day. Imagine if we were taught like that from the beginning. Great comparison. I love that. Great comparison,
It was
Jamie.
it was there that I learned how words influence our experience. And there's other great examples in our culture.
Yeah.
You're probably familiar with Carly Simon and Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, indeed. Yes.
Okay, well, both of them, when they're going to get on stage, they get heart palpitations, they get sweaty palms, they get a nervous feeling in the stomach, the adrenaline rushes. Well, Bruce Springsteen, he says, "Oh my gosh, I'm ready to go on stage now. I'm psyched." But Carly Simon, she labels her experience differently. She says, "I can't go on stage because I'm having an anxiety attack," which is amazing. Two exact same physiological experiences with a different interpretation, and they're using different language. Words are powerful.
Words are powerful. And you are absolutely correct. 100%. The physiological effect of what a word can do is amazing. I love how Bruce goes on stage with that mindset. Think about how inspired he is as a result of wanting to go up on the stage. It's almost as if he's attacking this idea of I can do it versus Carly Simon's approach. I wonder if she had thoughts in her head that might have said, I wonder if they're going to like me. I don't know if I'm good enough. Maybe tonight's not going to be my big night. I wonder if she was challenged with those type of thoughts prior to going up on stage. Boy, what a difference. Have you seen either one of those artists out of curiosity yourself?
I've seen Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, no, he's an amazing artist, and I would say just based on the experience, his approach is exactly how you compared it. Just an amazing way of going up on stage and just really attacking it.
And it's interesting because Bruce Springsteen, how many concerts has he done in a lifetime? But Carly Simon, not as many, probably because it's scary to her.
I wonder how many of her concerts were not booked because her anxiety level was so high that she just said, maybe that's not a good thing. Bruce Springsteen would do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday concerts. I wonder if she did concerts that were spread out or concerts that were one day after another. Boy, what a mindset and what a shift as a result of really a word or how we look at words and how we interpret the meaning of the words. Love that. Are there any words that perhaps you avoid?
Yes, I try and avoid the word hate as much as possible. And I used to use it a lot. I would say things like, I hate ice cream, or I hate this, or I hate that. And when I really thought about it, I realized I don't really hate ice cream. I don't like ice cream. I don't care for ice cream, but I don't really hate it. And hate has such a negative connotation. It's such a heavy word to use. And
Indeed.
I think we use it in our culture to try and emphasize how strong we want the emotion to be. But we don't need to do that. We can use just simple phrases or words like, yeah, I don't like it. That's pretty clear. And I realized, if I think about it, I don't really hate anything. And that word is definitely one I leave out. There's words I try and put in to my vocabulary that I enjoy using. And a good example of that is angry and peeved. Angry is such a strong word too. And it's got so much energy and so much tension behind it. And peeved is a synonym. But see, peeved is such a funny little quirky word. And when I use the word peeved, it lightens my mood. If I say I'm angry about something, it's forceful, strong. If I say I'm peeved about something, see, it always makes me laugh. It lightens the mood. And I notice it does with other people. It's so important in life, not just in our speeches, to use words intentionally. And there's so many great examples. I love using the word preparation instead of saying chores, because chores are so boring. Nobody likes doing chores. And yet if you talk about something as a preparation instead of a chore, now it's going somewhere. It's got an ending. If I go shopping, grocery shopping as a chore, boring, but if I do it as a preparation, I'm getting ready for an event, I'm going to cook for my family, have a nice evening, it changes the mood.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. I love the thought process, Jamie, of choosing the right words, being intentional about that process, I think is so critical. I love some of the comparisons and analogies that you just gave. Can anyone really hate ice cream?
Yeah.
But I love the word choice and the selections and re-examining the words that we use and finding better words that would be more suited to help create a different level of energy. I think that's fantastic. I love how you stripped away. Hate has so much emotion tied into it. And I love how you strip that down with a different word to soften it a little bit and not be so intense about it. It really helps us look at things differently when we choose words correctly. Let me ask you, obviously, I'm talking to a wordsmith here. Is there a mantra that you like or have based on words that you've put together? Just out of, just curious.
I have a couple. I always like to think of life's frustrations as challenges, because the opposite of that is being overwhelmed.
Yes, indeed.
You feel like you're getting overwhelmed, you feel like going to bed and pulling the covers over your head. But if you feel like you're being challenged, you feel like, wow, things are a little difficult, but I got this. I'm going to get this done. I can do it. It's much more uptone and positive, and there's energy to being challenged. There's no energy to being overwhelmed. But my favorite is the word unstoppable. I love that because so many times in my life, I've been determined to do things, and I get started and I do the legwork, get going, but somehow I fall off. But I want to create the energy of being unstoppable, because you can be determined, but still not make it. When you're unstoppable, you're done. It's already in your head that you've succeeded and you're going to go get it done. Yeah, unstoppable is great. Love
Oh,
that.
God, I love that word. That word is so inspiring in itself. In fact, when you said that, I felt my own physiology start to take a shift. I can feel this energy go through my body. That word is so powerful. It has so much meaning behind it. It's like you are our freight train going through your goals and making things happen based on what you want and what you want to achieve. Wow, what a word. That is a great word. When you write a presentation, is there something that you really look for? How is it that you refine or edit what you do to make it make sense to your audience?
Well, my process first is I have to have an idea on whatever speech I'm doing and be excited about it. Something will just come to me and I'll go, that's really cool. Wow, I'm excited about it. Because if I'm not excited, I'm never going to be able to make a speech that's going to excite anyone else. And that's my process. Then I kind of formulate different sections of it. And then I start honing down to the words that I want to use. And
Love
there's
it.
a lot of rewriting. I let the unconscious, I believe, helps. Sometimes I'll go to sleep and I'll read through and I'll just think about what an area that maybe I just don't have the right word, and just let that unconscious thing happen. And then it comes to you. Just have the intention to find it and that word will come eventually.
Oh, just so beautifully stated. I love that whole process. And what a great technique to share with people who write and do presentations. If you can't come up with the right words, sleep on it. Allow yourself to allow those words to percolate up to the surface, perhaps the next day, as a result of just sleeping on it and allowing your mind to do what your mind is capable of doing. I love that process. In fact, I try to teach something very similar to that on a regular basis to people who want to become better speakers. Great nugget, Jamie. That was huge. I really appreciate you being here. Share with us, maybe in closing, what is one thing that you would want all of us to do, or is there a way that you would have us sharpen our own pencils a little bit more regarding the topic that you picked, words?
Yes. Look, learn new words, read books that have vocabulary in there that you have to look up occasionally. Watch movies or listen to people who are great speakers. Use the vocabulary words like we have in Toastmasters. We get a vocabulary word every week and use that continuously. Increase your vocabulary because that will help you with subtlety of meaning.
Yep.
Each word has its own little tweak, and you want to use as many as you can and have as many words as you can in your arsenal. And that's it.
Well, thank you, Jamie. So appreciate it. You're absolutely right. The more words we can put in our arsenal, the better point, the perspectives we can share are just so much more refined as a result. I thank you so much for being here. It was great talking to you. I'd love to have you back. Will you join me another time, hopefully?
Absolutely. This was great. I had a blast. And I thank you so much, Roger, for inviting me on.
No
Love what
problem.
you're doing.
No problem. Again, what a great guest. Thank you so much for being here. To everyone, my guest today, Jamie Gutheil, really appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions, by all means, send it to us on an email on the channel and give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day. Jamie, have a great day.
Thanks. You as well, Roger.
Okay.
Wow, are you not inspired? Are those words absolutely magnificent? Think about the word Sanuk and how you can use it in your own day-to-day. Ask yourself, are you empowering yourself with the words that you use? If not, isn't it time you choose words that might make a difference? My thanks to my guest, Jamie Gutheil. She was fantastic. If you'd like to get a hold of me or Jamie, please send me an email at inspiredbyspeaking@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. Please give Jamie a thumbs up and don't be afraid to give us some comments. We'd love to hear from you. Here are a few nuggets that Jamie left with us today. Come back and join us again.